So we decided, we collectively brought our heads together. We wore white lab coats, black gloves, did the science. Top 5 home field advantages in college football. And I do want to say this. This isn't just this year, okay? You can't be like, oh, well, this one team, well, they lost last week at home. It must be a terrible advantage at home. We're saying over the course of time. Let's just say last 20 years, somewhere around there. So, Boomer, we have your list, okay? Wow, that is somewhat close.
Oh,
that is somewhat close. He's got Boomer has LSU 1, totally agree. Yep. Penn State 2, totally agree. A&M 3. Kyle Field, obviously loud. Tennessee 4 and Iowa 5. May not score a lot of points, but they score a lot of points on the decimal meter. Kind of go through your decision-making and thought process there, BGB.
Yeah, well, LSU, I mean, those fans basically show up like on Tuesday in the Baton Rouge and you're tailgating all week. And I mean, they get rowdy down there in Baton Rouge. And once the game starts, they prefer night games. And you saw like last week, I mean, that atmosphere was rocking against Mississippi State. Tough place to play. Penn State, you know, you just think of the whiteout. They do just one of those games a year. I think they should do a couple. It seems like the atmosphere there is just insane. When they have the whiteout atmosphere. I think Minnesota is their whiteout game this year. Texas A&M, we can rag on them as much as we want to. They're such an easy team to make fun of with all the traditions and everything. But Kyle Field, I got to give them some respect. That place can get loud. I mean, the student section's like almost 60,000 people. So it's a tough place to play. Neyland is tough. You know, I specifically remember when OU went to Neyland, I think 2015, Baker Mayfield's kind of first season, and that place was absolutely insane, and the fans are absolutely rabid. And then with Iowa, they've got, you know, first you got to go into the pink locker rooms, and it's an underrated place to play. It's loud. The defense will you know, keep you into a lot of third down situations, and it's a tough place to play. A lot of teams, Ohio State, Michigan, come out of Kinnick with a loss because it's not easy.
Yeah, you know, you look at kind of Iowa and Wisconsin too. Wisconsin's another place that's crazy to play. I love how Boomer's like, you know, the Iowa defense, they'll get you in third down and long. The offense is, well, they played football too. And,
even Iowa struggles playing in Iowa.
That's exactly right.
For sure.
Hey, but Boomer, I was looking we had a buddy of ours sent us a stat. So the Colts, the Indianapolis Colts, are averaging 2.5 points a quarter right now, which is really bad. You want to know how bad it is? Iowa's averaging 3.42. When your offense is worse than Iowa's, and I'm not counting overtime.
They scored 27.
I'm not. They scored 27. Read Globetrotter situation?
Nevada.
I mean,
I'll tell you about Nevada.
Yeah, that's exactly
not
right.
a good situation.
No, Nevada couldn't stop a nosebleed in a nurse's office. But Boomer, I do like that list. Let's go ahead and throw our list up here, Cone. You want to go through our list? You go through it.
Yeah, let's do it. What are we starting with 5 here? Tennessee, Neyland. Hey, this is our home state now.
Yeah.
So where did you have them, Big Game Boomer?
I don't know.
I had them at 4.
At 4.
At 4. Okay, very similar. Let's move to 4. Bring it up. Bring it up. Auburn, the Plains. Guys, go ahead and talk about Auburn.
All right, look, first off, I coached at Tennessee and Neyland Stadium when I was in South Alabama. Unbelievably loud, so loud that holes in the helmets were whistling. I mean, the ground was shaking. It's unbelievably loud. Auburn, crazy place to play. Even the Magic couldn't save how bad they were, though. You know, again, there's some magic that, you know, like they say, can make people fall in love with you. There's others that can bring you back to life from the dead. Auburn doesn't have that bring back to life from the dead magic. We have the, hey, everybody loves this magic. So Auburn at 4, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. The SEC is hard not to put an SEC team in this top 5, like all across the top
I haven't
5.
been to as many stadiums as I've wanted to go to in my life, but you know, it gets to the point when I was in Auburn Stadium, I'll never forget this. They were playing LSU when I believe Auburn went undefeated, and they caught that pick at the end of the game. It was a moment where it was so loud in the stadium, it was silent.
Yeah, it was one audible noise.
It's one audible, like it's so loud you can't hear anything at all. Like that's one of the coolest moments of my life. So I can imagine you coach at Tennessee. I heard that place is crazy loud. LSU, I've been to a game. That place it's a different type of loud. I'm talking about these people have been drunk for 4 days straight.
Yeah, well, anybody that can get up at 6 in the morning and be hammered by 6:30 and still
that takes effort, commitment.
I'm not talking about being nice. I'm not talking about being cordial and do that. I'm talking about not falling down and things getting set on fire. Like that's how crazy it is. I've already told the story about the duck sausage. We're not going to get into that as well, but let's go ahead and bring up number 3. Florida, the swamp, crazy, nuts, loud, hot, humid. Ask Utah. They were puking in the first quarter.
It's humid for sure.
Hey, Boomer, you remember when we were on that space on Twitter and that guy came in there and was like, well, you know, Utah's been practicing in altitude and wearing sweatshirts and stuff. I was like, look, buddy, altitude and humidity are 2 totally different things. He's like, Utah's going to be fine. They show one play with like 3 minutes to go in the first quarter, and the DB from Utah is just puking red Gatorade. He looked like Linda Blair.
Altitude and humidity both suck.
No, they both suck, but they're totally different. You can go run a 4K in altitude, go sign a scholarship to run track at Oregon, whatever. You go play in the swamp or down in LSU, that humidity is different. You're going to tighten, you're going to cramp, you're going to puke. And that's what we saw of Utah. And it was still a good game.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I don't know which one you'd rather pick, though, because I played in humidity. I guess I'm more used to that. But the altitude, when I got to Western Colorado.
Much rather play in altitude.
I don't know.
Much rather.
It got to the point you I didn't have one. Your legs will just quit working.
Yeah, where's the humidity?
Your legs will you'll be running, you'll be having trouble breathing. Next thing you know, your legs will you go baby horse, and your legs will just quit working. It's the weirdest feeling
Baby
ever.
horse.
Yeah, your legs just quit working. Humidity, I kind of like hot games anyway.
Well, you're from the South.
Yeah, am I?
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I was there when you were born.
I don't know.
Just because you're a Yankees fan doesn't
Am I
mean
from
you're
this
not
planet?
From the
Let's be
South.
honest.
Yes, you are.
Maybe I was with Aaron Judge when we got dropped in the corner.
I've known you longer than you've known you.
That is somewhat true, I guess.
Yeah, it is. All right, speaking about knowing, let's put up number 2 here. Penn State.
There we go. Penn State. Look, I played in it, man. Look,
You know.
and I was happy to see that on your list too, BGB. But other than the Rose Bowl, I think that's the coolest experience that I've ever had. The whiteout in Happy Valley on the road. Did it twice, actually. Phenomenal experience. And you were talking. You had Iowa on your list, right? At 5.
Yep.
Man, I would say I'd put places like the Horseshoe above Iowa.
I was wondering if,
the pink locker rooms for a second. Let me just tell you about the pink locker rooms. They're amazing. Okay, they're awesome. Spacious, plenty of room. The only stadium in the Big Ten I ever went where I had my own locker was Iowa. I don't care if they're pink. I was able to spread my wings a little bit, you know?
Part.
Meanwhile, we're going and playing at Northwestern. It's 3 to a locker. I got Mario Manningham like sandwich right here. You know, Chad Henne right here. I felt like a Michigan sandwich or something. Give me the pink locker room.
Northwestern's like, we found out, we did the math. If we make it 800 square feet, they're going to play worse. Like, we somehow put that together. When we were at Tennessee, their locker room was so small, we were underneath the stands, and it was so loud, and they were kicking on the stands that dust was coming down while Coach Jones was talking to the whole team. It was like something straight out of a movie. Yeah. I was looking around. It was just real, like full eye. You know, what did it say? Full eyes,
clear eyes,
full hearts, can't lose.
Can't lose.
Really one of those moments. Yeah. But number 1, the hardest place to play. We agree with you. It's LSU.
Easy.
All right, it's LSU. You're the only team in the state. There's no Auburn to an Alabama. There's no Mississippi State to an Ole Miss. Hell, there's not even a Vandy to a Tennessee. It's you guys and the Saints.
And the Saints, yeah.
And the Saints. It's you guys and the Saints. So everybody in the whole state shows up. Everybody's hammered. Anywhere you can get a drive-through daiquiri and go watch a legit Power 5 football game, people are going to be hammered. And the food's great, and it smells great at most places. There are some places there around the stadium that don't smell great there, BGB.
They are tailgating right now as we speak.
For sure.
They are tailgating. Yeah.
That's exactly right. It's absolutely nuts. And seeing them, play well in the second half. I know Mississippi State dropped a lot of passes and a punt, but having a good LSU is good not only for the SEC. Hey, if you like that content, go ahead and subscribe. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, String in a Cup. As long as you're listening, we appreciate you. Go subscribe now. It's Crane & Company.